Hi there, and welcome everyone on the Certified Angus Beef Facebook page. I would like to welcome you here to Dalebanks again. The Flint Hills are known really globally for being some of the last vestiges of the native tall grass prairie. And when the pioneers came to this area of Kansas and tried to homestead, they had a lot of trouble because a lot of this grass, a lot of this soil is actually just about 0 to 6 or 8 inches deep before you hit solid limestone rock. That is actually a tire tank that we developed using repurposed old scraper tires and turned that into a livestock watering system to try to be a little more environmentally friendly and keep those cattle out of the rivers and streams and things like that. We'll talk a little bit of the reason why we have these different types of grass. The native grass is pretty easy. The reason we have it, as we said, is it's pretty tough to be farmed. It's excellent grass in May, June, July of the year, but it's not very good any time before or after that. Unlike some native grasses, and especially short grasses that cure out and are cattle are able to eat it through the winter, this tall grass, while they're able to consume it, they also need a lot of protein to maintain themselves. And so to try and be a little better stewards, I guess, of the land and also of our monetary resources, we've elected to take some of our farm ground and plant it to these cool season grasses for the cattle to graze through the early spring, fall, and even sometimes in the winter. In addition to that, we've started in the last 12 years or so rotating through what we call a cover crop. That is planting some kind of a seed to grow into a plant that then can be grazed by our cow herd right after we have harvested a cash crop. And our intent is not to ever harvest this with equipment, but let the cows harvest it themselves. And when they do that, it saves us diesel fuel, it saves us equipment costs, it saves us feed cost, and best of all, it saves us fertilizer costs, because those cows will fertilize that ground for us for the next cash crop, whether it be beans or soybeans that come in behind corn, for us to raise. And so it's really we talk about environmentally sustainable actions, and ranchers and farmers have been as environmentally stable or sustainable as about anybody I can think of for years and years and years, because we have lived on this land for generations, and we hope that our kids can live on this generations and their kids, etc., etc. So this native grass that we were just talking about is right here. The old growth is brown, of course, and if you look really closely, there's some new growth that's green. That will come on very quickly, and in May, June, and July, that will be a lush green carpet of grass. Same way with the pasture across the road. Off in the near distance, or near foreground, that green is some of that cool season fescue, which is also a perennial grass, but it's introduced. It's not native to this part of the world. Off in the far distance, below that hill, is a former cornfield last fall that was then planted to cover crop, and I believe that was a mix of triticale, wheat, maybe some rye, turnips, radishes, and cowpeas, which are all things that the cattle like to graze and do a nice job of grazing. And they all have a certain advantage that they have for our soil health. They help break that soil up. They dig deep with some of those roots of the radishes and turnips, and put loosen some of that soil compaction, and even draw nutrients from deeper, bring them up to the surface, and then they rot and die. And the nice thing about that is we then have built organic matter and topsoil, and it's a lot of times they call it regenerative agriculture, but there's just so many advantages to doing that. The opportunity that we've had this spring, unlike a lot of springs, to get these kids where they can work alongside us even more. This year, with the coronavirus and the impending school closings and things like that, the kids have gotten to be here 7 days a week, and while they're doing a lot of schooling in home, they also need as many of you families can attest, they also need a little activity outside of the house too. So I'm going to let Amy talk about some of the advantages that we've gotten to do this spring that are different than usual.
Hi there. So yes, like Matt said, it's one benefit of the quarantine is having the kids around a whole lot more. They help us out as much as they can during the school year and quite a bit during the summer, but even in the summer they've got lots of activities going on. So just to have them here, in the spring we do a lot of cattle work. Since they're at home, they get to be with us, so that's been really great, and they're very fortunate to have that outlet and not just be cooped up at home. So we feel like they're getting a lot of hands-on learning along with their school that they fit in during the week as well, from their home school and their online school that they're doing.
All right, thanks Amy. You know, Amy talked about something with the kids that reminded me, we're in the genetics business, we're in the cattle business. We take pride in producing genetics that will go out and make our customers, when they turn bulls out onto their commercial cow herds, hopefully make them money. And that's an important part of all family farms and ranches in the Angus business or any genetics business. But one of the most important things that we do is right there, is raising these kids. And this spring has been an opportunity, even though it's brought challenges, it's been an opportunity for all ranch families, I think, to get a little closer with those kids and let them learn even more about what it is mom and dad do every day out here in the hills. So thank you again for being here. Hope wanted to say bye. Tell them bye, Hope. Have a great day.